Welcome to another past HSC exam question videos. What we'll do in this video is cover this exam question, which comes from the 2005 exam paper, and it's question 19 and it's worth 4 marks. What I'll do in a second is I'll read the actual question. Once I read the question, give about 5 seconds to pause the video. Once you pause the video, attempt the question, and then when you're ready, press play. And I'll go over a sample answer and the marking guidelines for this question as well. The question itself says, during your study of biology, you have been required to gather and analyze information on infectious diseases. Fill in the table below for one infectious disease, and you need to have the name of the disease, cause, symptoms, treatment, prevention, and description stands here, and that's for 4 marks. So when you're ready, press pause and attempt the question. Welcome back. Alright, so the actual answer for this would come from this marking guideline, and it says to get 4 marks, so 4 out of 4. What you have to do is provide characteristics of all the features related to named infectious disease. So in this case, don't just write one thing, because it says provide characteristics of all the features related to named infectious disease, so anything that you can remember. And obviously that's kind of given because you've got more space than just writing one line. So anything that you can remember, write down. So what I wrote was for the cause. So actually the name of the disease, that's flu. And the cause, or influenza, to be more scientific, influenza. The cause, the influenza virus, can invade our body cells and we use them as a host to reproduce and replicate. So this was just, I basically said that the virus caused it, this certain virus causes it, and does so by invading us, taking over our cells, and using them to replicate. Right, symptoms, weakness, fever, coughing, runny nose, cold, chills, nausea, vomiting. Right? So the idea is just anything that you could think of in terms of symptoms for the disease you chose. Obviously, it could have been a different disease, whichever one you chose. The treatment. So I said that antibiotics do not work. Right? Antibiotics do not work on viruses, so cannot be used. They only work on bacteria. So bed rest is the main form of treatment. And then aspirin can be given to reduce the symptoms. Right? So aspirin doesn't actually remove the disease, but it reduces the symptoms. Whereas the only really form of treatment is bed rest once you're sick. And then prevention. Flu vaccines can be taken on a yearly basis. And they have to be taken on a yearly basis because the high mutation rates in flu viruses. And then for prevention, having adequate sleep, so when you're not tired and when you have enough exercise, that boosts your immune system, which means you're less likely to be getting this virus or this disease. And also, what you can also have written is obviously sort of isolation. Stay away from people you think are infected by the flu, and this would be another prevention method. But basically, just whatever one that you covered, you would have given the name, you wrote a bit about the cause, symptoms, treatment, and prevention. It doesn't have to be too much, just whatever you know, but it would be more than good if you just put down virus, that's it, and that probably might be a bit too little, but just to have somewhat of a description. And where this question come from? This question came from this dot point. It said, students will identify data, gather, and process and analyze information from secondary sources to describe one named infectious disease, which is why we had to name it, right? Because we had to look at one named infectious disease. In terms of its cause, we were asked for the cause. Transmission, host response, major symptoms, we were asked for symptoms. Treatment, we were asked for the treatment. Prevention, ask for the prevention, and control. Right. So again, the question came from the stop point. Definitely know. You need to know one non-infectious and one infectious disease. There's another dot point which is exactly like this one, just for non-infectious. Make sure for your exam, make sure you have both a non-infectious and an infectious disease. You have them really well sort of put down in your mind. But yeah, hopefully that was useful.